The next rune in the first set is Berkana. It can mean the beginning or growth of an idea, statement, action, or journey. Okay then, the first statement, day 1, is that possessions were reduced at the beginning of the journey. Why would someone say that? It could be gibberish at this point, but I pressed on. The second set of runes, day 2, was 7 characters and would have a better chance of being gibberish or of making sense. The first rune in the set is Naudis, meaning constraint, need, or scarcity. Next appears the sign of the cross, another non-Futhark rune, but in 1362, in the European mind, this would indicate Christ or Christians, a safe enough assumption of its meaning. This is followed by Elhaze. I touched on this earlier, and this image carries no burden, so it means spiritual defense. This is followed by the rune Rideho. It can mean, among other things, raid or journey, and it is repeated twice. I decided to mean journey, and being repeated twice, a long journey. Then we get the mystery rune, and I applied my guess to its meaning. Lastly appears the rune for constraint again, Naudis. The statement in total says, constraint by the Christian spiritual defenders. On a long journey, possession uses constraint. This would make sense if they had just lost some of their supplies. So in the first 2 sets, we have a cause and effect statement. Also, my guess as to the meaning of the mystery rune holds true without alteration. I had opened the lock. I had found a story. We are on our way, and so our personal journey of exploration starts. Now the drama begins. The next set of runes, day 3, is Anzus, meaning signals, and it is repeated twice. He was seeing multiple signals. This is the earliest map I could find of the area where the Kensington runestone was found. It was made by Captain John Pope and is a geopolitical map indicating the Chippewa Nation occupied the lands to the east of the Red River in western Minnesota Territory, and the Yankton Sioux occupied the lands to the west. Let's see. They are coming up the Red River from Hudson Bay. If you look at the geopolitical map of the time, they were traveling on the demarcation line between the Sioux and Chippewa nations. So here come beings that to the natives look like creatures from another planet. An Iron Age culture, clad in mail, carrying metal weapons and wearing shining smooth hats, appearing in the midst of a Stone Age one. And did I mention the dragon canoe? I bet there were signals. This was a watched area by both nations. It goes from bad to worse for our explorers. The next set of runes, day 4, is Theresa, meaning ambush, and Fihu reversed again, meaning possessions reduced. Once again, my guess about the mystery rune holds true without adjustment. This is a classic raid to see what these people carried, and more importantly, if they were human. This is classic tactics and information gathering. Now our story turns mortal. Day 5. The first rune in the last set of line 1 is Rideho, meaning journey. It is followed by the sign of the cross, meaning Christians. Next appears the rune Terra, meaning warriors. Then another non-Futhark rune, Odin's battle. In early runic, Odin was the god of wisdom, and Odin's battle meant a battle with oneself over an internal conflict. In Roman times, it came to stand for physical battle, and Roman records tell us that the northern barbarians would make human sacrifice to this god. That is how it is used in this inscription. Next in the set is Elhaze, but it has been modified. It has been used to convey earthly defense, not spiritual, and the right-hand arm is missing or broken away. Herrick is saying it was an unsuccessful defense or defeat. Lastly appears a non-Futhark rune, which stands for the number 8. The last statement of line 1 says, on the journey, the Christian warriors decide to give battle, but are defeated and lose 8. The Christians decide to fight. However, they lose big with 8 out of 23 fighters dead. In my study of history, any time 1/3 of an invading force was lost, the remnants were in one of 2 states, fleeing or captured. I think perhaps they were ambushed and caught, say, at sunrise, without armor on or sword in hand. This is where a mystery writer would interject into the story, and now the plot thickens. Line 2 begins with day 6, the mystery rune possessions used. It is followed by rideho, meaning journey. Next appears fihu, upright, meaning possessions gain. They lose their possessions, however, someone is feeding them and they travel. The next set, day 7, is the longest so far. It starts with a non-Futhark rune, which stands for death or dead god. I went on for several lines reading that death did this and death did that, and I thought, well, they haven't taken up with running around with the Grim Reaper, so what is death? That's the wrong question. Who is death? Okay, if you were a northern barbarian and being told the story of Christ for the first time, the storyteller would talk about how Christ died on the cross to save you. You, the barbarian, might interrupt the storyteller to say, let me get this clear. You want me to forsake my gods for this one you say is dead? What with the interpretation barrier, it must have been a hard sell at sometimes. However, to Herrick and his compatriots, this probably seemed a fitting symbol for Sir Paul. He was the dead god guy. Next appears rideho, meaning journey. Then appears gibu, meaning partnership. It is a small nick in the upper right-hand bar. This means there's something secret about this partnership. Now appears possessions gained, followed by the non-Futhark rune for Christians. This is followed by sovilo, which I decided means whole or wholeness in the statement. This is followed by laguz, meaning flow. Next appears the non-Futhark rune for Christians. This is followed by elhaze, and it means earthly defense and a defeat. Then appears gibu, and again he's saying it's a secret partnership. This is followed by the symbol for Paul. Next appears the rune Berkana, meaning growth this time. Last in the set is fihu reversed, meaning use or reduction of possessions. The statement in total says, Paul, on the journey, forms a secret partnership for possessions. Christian wholeness flows. Christians can't defend secret partnership. Paul causes growth in possession use. Paul forms a secret partnership for possession gain. I think he was trying to build a secret supply to escape with. It doesn't work, however. The boys were willing to do it, but they were just too hungry. I think that the captors were using hunger as a coercion tool to get their prisoners to cooperate. So there wasn't anything extra to hide away. In the end, Paul has to hand the hidden food out. The last entry in line 2, day 8, is Isa. It can mean ice, stand still, halt in progress. Herrick is saying they stand still.
Okay.
You might want to get something to wipe up all the blood that's about to start pouring out of this story. A cold, wet towel is best. Line 3 begins with day 9. They stand still in earthly defense. The people they are with must defend themselves from something earthly, wildlife or man. I'd like to point out that within these two Native American nations, there was tribal dispute and conflict. A raid from a competing tribe within the nation would have been possible. The Vikings in their dragon canoe would have been a big catch. It would be like owning your very own cruise missile battery. The next statement, day 10, starts with Terra, meaning warrior, followed by Sovilo, meaning whole or thunderbolt. Then appears Christians, and lastly, earthly defense. It says the warriors are whole or sudden like a thunderbolt in Christian or Christians' earthly defense. There was a fight, and the Christians came off looking good. To these men, long trained in the arts of war, anything could become a weapon. The slope of the land, the run of a stream, even a dead pine tree with the right branches broken away could become an effective shield wall. The fact that you disarm them doesn't make them less dangerous. Day 11. Possessions gained, possessions used. They eat, finally they eat. I have to stop here. I'm out of time for our session together. My report is written so that you see the dictionary, then a copy of the grammar rules, then a clean copy of the inscription. This way, you have a chance to discover what the message says yourself, because my analysis follows this information. I have opened the lock and handed you the torch of illumination. We're all here together at the entrance to the crypt. What do you think it says? My name is Mark Edward Johnson. Welcome to an adventure. You can instant download a copy of this report from my website to your computer or arrange to have a spiral-bound copy mailed to you.